silver thread object. In early July 2012, something unusual was seen in the sky above Dos Palos, California. Several people noticed a strange object high above the area, bright enough to stand out against the clear blue sky. One witness was curious enough to pull over on the side of the road and start recording. The object stayed visible for a long time, not just a few seconds, which made the sighting harder to ignore. It didn't rush past like a plane, and it didn't drift away quickly like something lightweight caught in the wind. Instead, it remained there, calmly hanging in the sky. From the video, the object appeared to have a round, metallic-looking top, almost like a smooth sphere. Below it were long, shiny strands that looked like they were dangling straight down. These strands seemed to shimmer and reflect sunlight as the object slowly shifted position. The witness filmed it for more than 10 minutes, which is unusual for most things people mistake for UFOs. There was no visible sound source, no flashing navigation lights, and no obvious movement pattern like aircraft usually have. Some people suggested it could be a weather balloon, since balloons are often mistaken for strange objects in the sky. However, the object's shape and the long, thread-like strands below it didn't match what people usually expect from a balloon. Because of how long the object stayed visible and how strange it looked, people tried to get official answers. The National Weather Service was asked about it, but they said they had never seen a weather balloon that looked like this. Others tried contacting the Federal Aviation Administration to see if it could be related to aircraft or testing, but there was no response. With no clear explanation and no official confirmation, the sighting was left unresolved. The video still exists, and people who see it today are left with the same question the witnesses had back in 2012. If it wasn't a plane or a typical balloon, then what exactly was floating above Dos Palos that day? You let me know down in the comments below. 5 floating dark shapes. It happened in Los Angeles on a normal Tuesday. A person and his friends in the neighborhood looked up and saw something strange in the sky. There were 5 dark shapes just hanging there in the air. They didn't move fast. They weren't falling or flying quickly. They just floated. The witness took out a phone and started recording.
It's hovering.
Like literally.
Oh my God.
No, it's not.
No, it ain't.
No, it's not.
Well,
There's no clouds.
Shh, quiet,
That's a UFO.
look at it on the camera. Quiet.
What?
That's not moving quick enough. There's no tail.
No blue or red
Look,
light.
something's
Oh
coming
my God,
off.
see that?
Look, it's going up. It's taking off.
The objects looked like tiny human shapes. They didn't have any wings or lights. There were no trails behind them, like airplanes usually have. They didn't spin or flash or blink. They simply stayed in one spot, almost like they were stuck in the sky. No sound was heard. The sky was quiet. Nothing about them looked like something normal. The witness kept filming, unsure of what they were looking at. The shapes were not birds, not drones, and definitely not planes. They seemed out of place. Then, something changed. The objects started to move, but not sideways like most flying things. They slowly began to go straight up. It was like they were taking off, not falling down. The speed wasn't fast, but it was steady. No one around could explain what they were. And after a while, they just disappeared from sight. Leaked U.S. military audio. On the 17th of September, 2024, at 2:30 p.m., a U.S. Homeland Security aircraft was flying over California. The pilot, known by the call sign Troy 21, made a sudden radio call to Los Angeles Air Traffic Control. He said, "This is going to sound weird. I just had something pass underneath my wing."
Roger, do you think it was a drone or?
I have no idea. I got my sensor operator looking for it on the camera right now. We'll see if we can find it. But it's like a dark gray cylindrical object, and it was probably the size of a football, and it passed maybe 10 feet under our right wing.
The pilot described it as a dark gray cylindrical object about the size of a football. It passed just 10 feet below his right wing. He told the controller that his sensor operator was checking the cameras to see if they could spot it again. A minute later, he called back. He reported seeing something on the aircraft's air-to-air tracking system. Moments after that, he spotted something on radar, 60 miles away. If it was the same object, it would have traveled that distance in under 2 minutes, faster than 1,500 miles per hour. That kind of speed, at that altitude, ruled out a drone. According to experts, drones can't move that fast or at that height. Soon after, another controller said calmly, "There was a UFO reported here, but that's all taken care of now. It was earlier, but it's gone." But nothing more was explained. No official statement followed. The object was never confirmed, never identified. The only clear thing is this: something strange flew just 10 feet under a US government plane and disappeared. How does something that close, that fast, and that unexplained just vanish? And who decides when something like this is taken care of? You let me know. Silent Sky Sphere. On July 5th, 2013, something strange was seen in the sky above Encinitas, California. A person noticed a dark, round object just sitting still in the sky. It wasn't moving like a plane. It wasn't blinking like a drone. It wasn't acting like a star or a balloon either. It was just there, hanging quietly in one spot.
Okay, July 5th, 2013, we're seeing a UFO-looking sphere. It's been there since 4 in the morning. We don't know what it is, and it won't move. It's been there the whole time. But it's been flashing lights, and I just did some research, and it turns out last year, 7 people encountered this in San Diego, and I'm wondering if anybody else is seeing it. It's been there the whole time, and it won't move, but shame I don't have a good camera.
The witness said the object had been there since around 4 inches the morning. It didn't move for hours. Sometimes it flashed lights, but there was no sound and no clear sign of movement. The person filming didn't have a great camera, but still tried to capture what was going on. In the footage, the object looked like a solid, floating sphere, not something breaking apart, falling, or flying in a regular path. The person also mentioned that last year, 7 other people in San Diego had seen something that looked very similar. That made the witness wonder if this same object was coming back again or if it had never left. No one has explained what the object was. It didn't act like anything normal in the sky. It didn't look like a weather balloon or drone. It stayed in the same place for a very long time, and the flashing lights made it seem different from a star or reflection. The person who filmed it wasn't claiming anything for sure, just that it didn't make sense, and it looked exactly like what others had seen before. No one else came forward with an answer. It was just a black sphere hanging in the sky while people below tried to figure it out. Suspended red light. A strange glowing object was seen in the sky. It appeared bright red and looked perfectly round. The person who saw it said it just hovered in one place without moving. There were no sounds or flashing lights around it. It wasn't a plane or a drone. It just sat there, quietly, glowing. The object had a strong red color and seemed to have a round pattern on it. It didn't move side to side or up and down, it just stayed still in the sky. From the photos, it looks like the object kept its shape and glowed the whole time. Then suddenly, it faded. One moment it was there, and the next moment, it was gone. It didn't shoot off fast or fall. It just slowly vanished. The person who captured the video didn't give a location or time, but the images clearly show something real in the sky. What makes it different is how calm and quiet the whole thing seemed. No trails, no noise, and no blinking lights. Just a glowing red circle, floating until it disappeared. Nobody knows what it was. Could have been something rare or something we just don't understand yet. 3 silent lights. In November 2023, people in Alaska noticed something unusual in the sky. It was not loud, fast, or flashy. Instead, 3 bright lights appeared together and caught attention because they did not behave like normal aircraft. The lights were visible against the dark sky and stayed close to one another. At first glance, they looked calm and steady, which made people stop and watch instead of reacting right away. There was no sound coming from them, even though the area was quiet enough that an airplane would normally be heard. The 3 lights moved slowly forward as a group. They did not blink like plane lights, and did not separate like helicopters or drones often do. All 3 stayed close together and kept the same spacing while moving. Their motion was smooth, not shaky, and there were no sudden turns or drops. People watching said the lights seemed to glide rather than fly. What stood out most was the silence. Commercial flights usually make noise even from far away, but these lights made none at all. There were also no visible wings, tails, or flashing signals. The lights did not rush across the sky or fade quickly. Instead, they stayed visible long enough for people to notice their steady movement and shared direction. Because of how the lights behaved, people were unsure what they were seeing. They did not match how planes normally look or sound. They also did not move like fireworks or shooting stars. Since all 3 lights stayed together and moved slowly, it raised questions. Some wondered if it could be a rare aircraft or something else entirely. Others were simply confused, as they had never seen lights behave this way before. In the end, there was no clear answer. The lights moved on, still silent, leaving behind only the video and the memory of something unusual in the Alaskan sky. Light into water. A strange video circulating online showing a bright, round light appears just above the water. It looks like a glowing sphere, steady and clear, not flickering like a reflection or flashing like a plane light. The person recording does not move the camera much, and there are no edits or filters. The light is the only unusual thing in the scene, and it draws attention right away because it does not behave like anything commonly seen over the ocean. As the recording continues, the glowing sphere slowly moves closer to the water. There is no visible structure attached to it, no wings, no tail, and no clear shape other than a bright, round glow. At one point, the light appears to sink into the ocean. For a few seconds, it disappears below the surface, leaving only darkness and moving waves behind. Then, without warning, the light reappears in nearly the same area. It comes back quietly, without splashing water upward or creating visible waves that stand out from the rest of the ocean. Throughout the clip, there is no clear sound linked to the object. The movement is smooth and slow, not fast or sudden. The light does not follow the path of a boat, and it does not rise like a flare. It simply goes down, vanishes briefly, and returns. What makes this sighting hard to explain is how calm and controlled the movement looks. The light does not fade out like something burning away, and it does not blink like common aircraft lights. It also does not stay underwater or drift away with the waves. Instead, it reappears as if nothing happened. Since the footage is shared exactly as it was recorded, the question remains open. Was it something reflecting light in an unusual way, or was it something else entirely? The video does not give a clear answer, leaving viewers to decide what they think they are seeing.